So I said that I was going to do a video about my mental problems. So this is it. If you see my last video, you would know that I tried taking a couple of prescription antipsychotics. I used Zoloft and something called Abilify. So this video will be about why I decided to go see a psychiatrist and what led me up to actually wanting to take the drugs. So my whole life I've kind of had an issue with social anxiety. It's just hard for me to connect with people the same as most others are able to do it, I guess. Like, I don't know why, it's like I'm really shy. It's really hard for me to just walk up to some person and start a conversation. But if it goes the other way around, if someone starts a conversation with me first, it's easy for me to do that. School was really hard for me because I was so socially awkward that I pretty much had no friends. When we had to pick groups for like class projects, I would have an anxiety attack because I couldn't talk to anyone. And then once I started working, work became really hard for me because I ended up getting a management position at a few companies that I've worked at, and it's like I love the job, but having to meet with colleagues or attend conferences, that sort of thing was so overwhelming to me that I like dreaded it. And then I started having full-on panic attacks. Customers would come into the store and they caused me to have full-on panic attacks. Like, they would just say things that are just so full of hatred. I want to say, like, whatever they said, like, I didn't care, but I could not help the way I reacted to everything they were saying. What would happen is I would have a hard time breathing and I would feel like I was gonna faint, and my heart was racing and it felt like I was having a heart attack. I'd go home for my lunch break and just lay down for the whole hour to try and calm down. I started looking into natural remedies and I began taking magnesium salt baths, and you can take magnesium supplements too. It helps calm yourself down. And there's another one, I think it was called 5-HTP. I tried that and it helped, but it wasn't enough to control it. I was working 2 jobs and I ended up having to restrict my hours at my part-time job to basically nothing. And my full-time job, I started taking like 3-hour lunch breaks just so I could have enough time to calm down enough to go back to work. So as I was going through all of this, I started to wonder if there is a drug that's safe and effective, if there is something out there that can help me live more normally, then at this point, like, I was ready to try it. I went to go see my doctor to see if he would refer me to a psychiatrist. And I also told him that I need a break from work and I would really appreciate if he would give me a doctor's note for just a leave of absence, stress leave or something. And he was more than willing to help me. He wrote the letter and he referred me to a psychiatrist. When I brought my doctor's note to my part-time job, my doctor had suggested a 6-month leave of absence. And when I submitted that, they told me that I needed to get another doctor's note with my diagnosis on it. And so I made the appointment with the psychiatrist. So I went to the psychiatrist appointment. I had to fill out a survey when I got there. The questions were really weird. Like, they would say, have you ever felt sad? Well, yeah, I think everyone's felt sad, so check that off. And then there'll be a question like, do you ever feel nervous? Well, yeah, check that off. Every question was like that, just super vague. Like, I'm sure every single person would answer yes to every question. So then I went into his office and sat down with him, and I told him everything about how I was currently feeling and also everything I've gone through throughout my entire life. And by the end of it, he told me that he's pretty sure I have generalized anxiety disorder. And then he wrote me the 2 prescriptions that I've never heard of before. Well, if you've seen my last video, you know how that went. I went back to my doctor and I requested a new letter to be written. And he was again willing to do that for me with the diagnosis in it. But he also said that he is 100% sure that they do not need to know my diagnosis and that it's a private medical concern, that they don't need to know about that. And to me, I thought that was pretty strange because I don't think that my employer needs to know. You know, I think about people that might have something a little more severe and they really don't want their employer to know what disease they have. I don't think that it's right. Maybe it's not right. I don't know. That's the thing. I tried calling the union and no one could give me a straight answer. So ultimately, my doctor's note was refused. But long story short, I ended up realizing that I don't want to take any drugs and I'm happy with the way I am. Maybe it's a little more difficult to deal with compared to everybody else, but it's okay. I just have to find other people, make new friends that are similar to me, and I think it'll be fine. Maybe I should just quit my jobs and find something that I love to do, but is also not as stressful, and a job that I don't need to directly deal with people as much as I do right now. The thing is, though, I love my job. I love it. But I work in a male-dominated industry, and a lot of the times, nearly every single day, I have to deal with customers who don't take me seriously because I'm female. If you want to know what kind of things these people are saying to me, stay tuned for my next video. It will be all about the types of customers I deal with on a daily basis. Not all of them are bad or mean or whatever, but most of them are. And I think somebody needs to say something. Thanks for watching. So it hasn't been 2 weeks. I'm on day 4. But I'm having some pretty bad side effects. So I guess we'll just keep dealing with it until it gets better.